Hello, what are we making today, Benny?
Cookies!
Cookies! What kind of cookies? Chocolate chip cookies, that's right.
Like salt.
With salt, that's right. And egg.
And flour.
And flour.
And this.
And this, that's right. Today we're making chocolate chip cookies with a little added touch of Bailey's, which would be this. Welcome to Our Kitchen Island. Remember to visit ourkitchenisland.com for the full recipe and more great ideas. So should we get started, Benny?
Yeah.
Alright. Let's throw the brown sugar in. We've got about a cup of packed brown sugar. Got about a half a cup of white sugar. We've got about 3/4 a cup of butter at room temperature. Put that in there. We'll get a little more. There we are. We've got 1 egg.
Yeah.
And we've got magic ingredient, Bailey's. About a tablespoon, not too much because you don't want it to be too liquid. And you don't want too much alcohol in these things. It doesn't do a lot to start, but just get that in there, it just adds a little more liquid. Jack's going to help us out here. There we go, about a tablespoon. Now we're going to get those all mixed together. We're going to use our beater. Can you help me with the beater, Benny? Can you turn it on? Whoa, there we go, alright. So we're going to get this all beat up and then we'll get the dry ingredients in. Okay, we've got the wet ingredients in. I forgot to mention we added 2 teaspoons of vanilla in there as well, give it some great flavor. So let's get to the dry ingredients now. Just going to use a sieve on top and add them to the wet ingredients in the same bowl. So we're going to add the flour in. We're going to start with 2 cups of spelt flour. I like to put that down first. And then we add on top of that the rest of the dry. And 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda and about a 1/2 teaspoon of sea salt. Just going to mix that through. Benny's going to help us out here.
I'm breaking those little balls up.
You're breaking those little balls up, that's right. Alright. So I use spelt flour and I find that it's not quite as absorbent as regular flour or wheat flour. So it ends up taking a little bit more flour to get us to where we want to be. So what we're just going to do is mix this up. You borrow your spoon, Benny? Get that all incorporated. We're going to add our chocolate chip cookies in, or our chocolate chips in. Can you do that for us, Ben? Can you add the chocolate chips in? No, not with the spoon. Just pour them in. Good boy. We'll get those all incorporated. Whoa, now he's making a bit of a mess here. Alright. So we're pretty much done at this point. We just want to mix them up. If your mixture is too mucky and it's not coming together very well, just add a little bit more flour. And if it's too and you'll be good to go. You don't want the batter sticking to your hands or putting it on the cookie sheet, or else they're going to spread out and be really thin when you cook them. So just get that all mixed up, and we'll move to the cookie sheets next. Okay, we've got the cookie batter mixed up. I ended up adding about another 1/4 cup of flour to it to bring it together very nicely. Now we're just getting the cookies on the cookie tray. Again, as always, I love to use clay because it makes sure the bottoms stay nice and brown just like the top and don't burn and don't get too hot. We've got our oven preset at 325 on bake, and we're just going to get the last couple cookies on here, and then we're going to get ready to get it in the oven. And then they cook for, depending on your oven, depending on the heat, and depending on how well done and chewy you like your cookies, anywhere from 10 to 15 minutes. I usually do mine in about 12 minutes. Thank you, Benny. Because I like the insides and I like the middle to stay nice and soft and chewy. So we'll get those into the oven and we'll be ready to eat in a few minutes. Okay, our second batch of cookies is done. Just going to take them out of the oven here. Let them sit here, let them cool down for about 2 minutes. Then we're going to move them over to the cooling rack. I like to do my cookies a little bit smaller, maybe about a tablespoon and a half of actual cookie on there. That way they're good for the kids and you don't feel too bad when you sneak a cookie. Also wanted to show that the beauty of clay is when you have a cookie here, bring this up nice and close, that cookie's been in the oven on a hot pan and the bottom is completely the same color as the top. So remember, visit ourkitchenisland.com for more great recipes and ideas. Say bye, Ben.
Bye.